Hi ma'am, this is my presentation for ECE505, Cultural Diversity and Inclusion. Today I'll be analyzing the children's picture book All Are Welcome by Alexander Penfold and Susan Kaufman. This story is a powerful example of how children's literature can support diversity, social justice and belonging in an early learning environment. It celebrates community, respect and kindness by showing a classroom where everyone is valued and accepted. Throughout this presentation, I will be analyzing the book using key frameworks such as intersectionality, anti-bias education, and social justice theory. I'll also discuss how educators can use this text to foster inclusion and link it to early year learning framework and national quality standards. Firstly, introduction. Uh, All Are Welcome Here promotes a day in a diverse classroom where every child belongs. It represents families from many cultural, linguistic, and religious backgrounds. The message is simple yet powerful. Everyone deserves to feel included and respected. The story uses warm language and bright illustrations to show that differences are not barriers but strengths that enriches the community. The phrase "all are welcome here" repeats throughout reinforcing the idea of belonging and acceptance. This message aligns strongly with the early years learning framework, principles of respect for diversity, and with outcome 2, which emphasizes children being connected with and contributing to their world. Now let's talk about representation of culture and diversity. Representation in children's book is critical because it shapes how children view themselves and others. Adam and Brad 2020 highlights that many books in early child education remains monocultural, showing mainly white Western families and ignoring cultural diversity. But All Are Welcome disrupts that pattern by showing children from multiple ethnic backgrounds with different skin tones, abilities, and family structures. We see children wearing hijab, yarmulkes, and turbans, and one child uses a wheelchair. This visual inclusion tells every child that they are valued and that their background matters. The book also shows gender diversity in play. Both boys and girls share toys, books, and games, challenging the idea that some activities belong to a particular gender. This aligns with anti-bias goals, one identity, helping children take pride in who they are. Now let's talk on bias, prejudice, and stereotypes. Bias often operates invisibly in children's books. When only certain races, genders, or families are represented, it sends a message about whose story matters to the children. Adam and Brad argues that educators must choose books that challenges monoculturalism, not reinforce it. Uh, in All Are Welcome, no group is treated as the other. Instead, cultural differences is shown as a normal and joyful part of life. The story presents shared classroom experiences like circle time, lunch, and play, showing children's learning side by side with mutual respect. This helps reduce prejudice by fostering empathy, understanding, by showing diversity as something natural. The book teaches children to question stereotypes before they form. For example, seeing a girl wearing a hijab as a part of everyday life challenges the stereotype that differences is unusual or unwelcome. Now let's talk about opportunities for equality and inclusion. Equality means giving everyone the same treatment, but equity means giving each child the support they need to succeed, as per Victorian Government 2022. All Are Welcome shows equity in action by recognizing that every child learns differently and deserves to feel included. The teacher greets each child warmly, creating a classroom where everyone feels safe and valued. When children share meals from their culture, the story celebrates inclusion and respect for diversity. This scene can inspire educators to create similar inclusive activity in real classrooms. The book also reflects the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child 2025, especially Article 2 on the non discrimination and Article 12 on participation, it reminds us that every child has the right to express who they are and to be accepted for it. By using stories like this, educators can help make those rights visible in everyday practice. Let's talk about the strength based approaches taken by the book. The book aligns strongly with a strength based approach to early childhood education. Rather than showing children as victims of inequality, it highlights their strengths and resilience. Families are shown as supportive, loving, and engaged in their children's learning. This positive portrayal encourages educators to see families as partners, not problems to solve. Children are active participants in building an inclusive community, demonstrating leadership, empathy, and cooperation. This reflects EYLF 2.0 Outcome 1. Children have a strong sense of identity and reinforces that inclusion builds confidence and well being. As Care for Kids 2019 article notes, anti bias teaching involves creating learning spaces where every child's background is valued and celebrated. By focusing on strengths, All Are Welcome promotes hope and optimism and shared humanity. Pedagogical applications. Educators can use this book to create inclusive, reflective classroom experiences. After reading the story, teachers can invite the children to make a welcome poster featuring their names, drawings, and flags from their cultures. This helps children see that everyone brings something unique to the group. Another idea is to discuss what makes each person feel welcome at school. These activities encourage critical thinking about fairness and empathy. This aligns with EYLF 2.0 principles such as high expectations and equity, and respect for diversity. It also connects with National Quality Standards Quality Area 1, 5, and 6, focusing on inclusive programs, respectful relationships, and partnerships with families. According to Australian Education Research Organisation 2025, effective inclusion starts with proactive planning, anticipating diversity rather than reacting to it. This book provides a foundation for that proactive approach. Now let's talk about key theoretical connections. Intersectionality reminds us that identity is complex. A child might be female, multilingual, and living with a disability. Each of these aspects interacts to shape how they experience belonging and inclusion. Anti-biased education, as per Derman, Sparks, and Edward, provides the IDJA framework, that is, Identity, Diversity, Justice, and Action Framework. All Are Welcome clearly supports these goals by helping children celebrate who they are, value diversity, recognize unfairness, and take actions to include others. Social Justice Theory by Kennedy 2021 reminds us that fairness is not just personal but systematic. It's about challenging inequalities in education and society. Educators play a key advocacy role, ECA 2021, by promoting inclusive values and ensuring every child's rights are respected. Clark 2023 emphasizes that inclusion should be proactive, removing barriers before they impact children. Together, these theories form the foundation for socially just early learning environment. In conclusion, All Are Welcome is an exemplary picture book that embodies the principles of inclusion, equality, and social justice. Through its diverse representation, it challenges stereotypes and affirms the identities of all children. The book promotes empathy, cooperation, and understanding, qualities essential for building a fair society. It encourages educators to use literature intentionally to discuss diversity and fairness, linking to EYLF and NQS outcome. By sharing stories like this, educators nurture children's capacity for kindness, advocacy, and respect for differences. Ultimately, all our welcome reminds us that every classroom can be a place where all children, regardless of their culture, ability, or background, are seen, heard, and truly welcomed. Thank you. Uh, Here are the references I used for this assignment. Thank you very much.